on, man. YGIRAY tapping in. You already knew what it is. But young gifted individual. We got all type of shit been going on. I can't even explain half of this shit that's been going on. Y'all see it for yourself. Man, we turned up. We live today. Live with the interview. I'm back in the flesh. Got an album about to drop. Wish I could explain. That bitch about to drop between December and October. So I'm trying to figure out what exact day I'm gonna drop that bitch. But that bitch about to be out. And we got a performance next week. I'm about to start handing out flyers. All this shit about to be up. So yeah, we tap in.
All right. So first question is, where can the people find your music at?
You can find my music on really just about anything you search that bitch on. Pandora, Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, that Piff. Anything you search me on, I'm gonna be on 9 times out of 10. Anything. So yeah, iTunes, all that shit.
So a second question is, if the rap thing don't work out, what's your backup plan? Or is there a backup plan?
I ain't gonna lie, son, cause a lot of times I be feeling like this shit ain't gonna work, even though I know I got the potential to make it. I be feeling like this shit ain't gonna work, but if this shit don't wind up working, I want to get into that entrepreneur shit and like housing and real estate and all that shit. Like I done looked at a lot of shit on it, and I'm good at editing this shit too. So photography is an option, real estate an option. And I already got the knowledge of photography, editing, all that shit, so I definitely could fuck with that. Okay. So it's a couple of options.
All right. And shoot, on Instagram, we see you YGI. Who all in your group? You want to shout out everybody?
Honestly, it's not like no type of gang, no type of group. It's not none of that shit. YGI specifically stands for Young Gifted Individual. That's specifically for me. One day I might turn it into some shit like a label or some shit, but right now, it's just me, Young Gifted Individual. I came up with the shit on my own. Thought came on my own, so fuck. I just left it at that. I ain't really think to bring nobody into it type shit.
Okay. So how do you feel about fans or just people in general leaking music?
That shit too up. I get it. Cause sometimes like artists don't drop as much as they used to or some shit like that, but that shit not cool. Cause at the end of the day, an artist, it's like a pattern to everything. It's a process and a plan to everything. So leaking a nigga music before he drop his shit, that's some other shit. Like, you fucking up what he had planned. You don't know how he planned to drop his shit, or when he planned to drop his shit, or what he was doing it for. Like, you don't know what his circumstance was. And a lot of times, artists don't be able to drop music as much, because nigga like, yo, we got real life problems going on. Like, it be real life shit. And it's more than just dropping music. You gotta know how to promote that bitch right. You gotta know the time to drop your shit. You gotta know what day to drop your shit. You gotta know what platforms to put your shit on. What to post it, like it's a lot of shit that come into it. So it don't just be like, I don't know, like people think it's just recording music. It's way more than that. So leaking a nigga music, after nigga done planned all this shit out, had all this shit mapped out, that shit not cool. That shit not cool at all, son.
Okay. So another question is, so you're getting ready to drop an album, right?
Mm-hmm.
So are you thinking about dropping like a documentary? So like how Travis Scott dropped Astroworld and did a little film?
Yes, son. It's crazy how you said that shit, cause we working on that shit right now. And then we about to get another camera, cause how to shoot, you know, we got the show next week. So we about to get all that footage, all that shit for the last few clips for the documentary. And we're gonna do one more scene right before that. We putting all that shit together though. I'm gonna try to have that shit out around the same time, cause I want the album and the documentary to all be in like one little section, one time area that I drop all that shit. Just have buku content for them to see.
All right. A second question is, do you want to be an independent artist or sign with a label?
Independent. I ain't even got to think about that shit. I ain't trying to sign, son. Cause when you sign, it's different. Like, first off, what you could be signing for, thank you signing for, could be a whole different story. Like, niggas just see them commas on that fucking paper and all that shit, and nigga sign that bitch. Not knowing, but you probably just sold your soul. You don't even know what you just signed off on. Like, it's a lot of people that you could get your contract, check that shit, make sure that bitch good, but so I just don't trust that shit as far as fucking with the industry. Like, I want to be an independent artist to where I don't gotta be under no label type shit. Like, I ain't fucking with signing no nigga. That shit dead. Distribution deals and shit like that, yeah, I'll fuck with all that. But signing, I ain't trying to do that. I'm trying to get to the top independent. Straight like that. If I gotta build my team up from the ground up, it's gonna be that. I ain't trying to sign.
Okay. Another question is, at this time, who's your favorite producer that you've been working with?
Favorite producer? I can see my dude Mo5, son. That little bitch fire.
Yeah.
That little bitch fire. That little bitch done sent me like 200 beats in the past 2 months, son. 200 beats in my phone. That bitch probably gonna send me some more. That nigga, he be on his shit. For real, for real. And homie fire with this shit. As far as all the producers I done fucked with, I sit by fuck. He the most professional, the most consistent, and he be on top of his shit. Like, he have his shit together. I ain't gotta worry about him not having his shit together, me having to wait extra room for some shit. He have his shit right. He come right with his shit, so yeah. Fucking right.
So what made you decide to start rapping?
Man, it's crazy, son, cause as a child, like, nigga was 5 years old, and I don't remember this shit. Like, nigga was 5 years old, I still got letters and shit of me writing my mom, telling her I'm gonna blow up and rap and this shit. One day I'm gonna buy her a house, all this shit on paper, and she still had the pictures from the shit. But as I'm saying this shit, I saw this shit about a couple months ago. It fucked me up, cause I'm like, damn, bitch, I was thinking about rapping way back then. I ain't even had a consciousness to know I really wanted to do this shit. And then around 13, 12 years old, it came back around. Like, I grew up around rapping my whole life, literally. Like, it don't matter who was around me, somebody was doing music. So I guess that shit just stuck with me. But around 13, 12, I started recording off my phone for about 2 years, rapping in the closet with headphones. For about 2-3 years with my brothers. Solid. We made about 10, 15,000 views off that shit. Just off a phone, rapping in the closet with some 7 headphones, son. I'll never forget that shit. Sending tracks back to back, using the fucking phone to record. But basically, that's how rapping started me off. I started rapping with that little bitch, actually. Same time I start rapping, you start rapping. You can search that nigga up too. Universe, UNIIVVRS. That bitch name spelled weird, but I'm gonna put this shit on there. Better code too, that nigga be on his shit. But yeah, I started rapping. Basically, I grew up around this shit. The shit just felt like it was my blood. Then there's a different way to express myself. Cause I can't, like, I don't know, if I get to try to tell you what's on my mind, I'm gonna fuck up and start stuttering all this weird shit. But music, I could do that shit like it's nothing, son. I could write a song in 30 minutes. A whole song.
Okay. Give some of the new supporters or fans a reason why they should fuck with your music. Because anybody can make music, but why should they fuck with you as an individual?
Like, what make me stand out from other niggas? For one, son, I drop every type of music. Like, if you need hype shit, singing shit, country, whatever the fuck you need, I could drop, son. That's number one. And number two, the story I be telling in all my, like, so every song I make got some type of story behind it, or some type of line, like, it got something behind that bitch. So you gotta, like, people, they hear my music, but sometimes I don't think they really be hearing what I be saying. A lot of shit be flying over their head. Like, on this album, son, my main goal on this album is to make sure everybody feel that bitch, like, to the T, like. Ain't nothing like, I don't know, I want a nigga to feel me on a whole nother level. Like, a lot of niggas just rap, and a nigga be like, oh yeah, the bitch, that's cool. But a nigga can't tell you one line you said from that bitch, like, I want my shit to stick. So when you hear that bitch, you be like, damn, I can relate to that. I can feel that. And a lot of my music like that already. That's the reason I feel like a lot of people should fuck with my music, because my shit relatable. You just gotta find which song or which album, whatever, that I got that relate to you. And not all my music gonna be for everybody, and I know that, and I understand that. But certain shit, and certain shit I got out, it might be for you. But fuck, that's the reason I feel like they should fuck with me.
Okay. Another question is, talk about any upcoming shows or any shows that you would like to perform at in the next year.
Alright, so I got this performance coming up at Smoke Kings right now. That's next week. It's a venue. So I got that next week. And I'm trying to go perform at this club. I forgot what that bitch called. I performed at V-Lab already, so that's over. But I'm trying to think. I'm trying to perform at a couple of spots, dude. I know they had a big-ass club somewhere downtown. I don't know the name of that bitch. I don't know, man. Fuck it. But there's a big-ass club. I'm trying to perform in that bitch. And I just had got this dude. That boy came into my job. He owned he don't own, but he a security of a club. That boy told me he gonna get me in the club and let me talk to the manager and shit to see if they could about get me performing in that bitch. And that's a big-ass club, too. So hopefully by the end of this year, I know I'm gonna get that shit under go. I'm gonna get that shit handled. But I hope I be able to perform in both of them bitches. And after that, mood just start rolling in. I'm really with whatever performing anyway, son. Cause right now, I'm at a point I'm not like, oh, I ain't fucking with that, or I ain't performing that. Man, I'm performing anyway. Wherever you need me at, I'm there.
Okay.
Believe that.
All right. So another question is, talk about your growing up and your background story.
Growing up. Alright, so basically, I'm trying to say I could put the. Growing up was weird for me, son. Honestly, like, life kind of went fast for me growing up. Like, at first, it seemed like he like I got pulled out of class. He like, so you know the boys' bathroom was smoking about a couple of hours ago, right? I'm like, that's interesting. Like, bitch, I'm not about to tell you I did it. I'm like, for real? He like, yeah. I'm like, damn. I wasn't about to say shit, but when he said this, I knew it was over. He was like, and we got you on camera, lighting the paper. I'm like, man, what the fuck y'all got me on camera? Cause look, I ain't even know they had cameras right there. Cause the way the camera was set up, that bitch was ducked off. You wouldn't even notice that bitch. So I'm like, I ain't even sitting and I'm just looking at him like, y'all got who? He like, yeah, we got you on camera. Burning paper. I'm like, man, what the fuck? I'm thinking the paper out, so I guess that bitch was about to ignite back or whatever. So that boy tell me, he like, yeah, you would get set up for exposing all type of shit. But that's just an example of how shit was going. But life really, like, I was growing up fast. Like, after that was just childish dumb shit I was doing back then. But it got to a point where I started helping my mama move, start getting more brothers and shit. I had something to actually do at this point. So now it ain't time to play no more. It's time to be on some grown man shit now. Cause you got the brothers under you, you got the sisters under you, you got people under you, and you got a family to take care of now. So at that point, I just felt like I had to go. It got to a point, I ain't like asking for bread for my people, none of that shit. I want, like, at a young age, son. I wanted to get that shit on my own. I was determined to get it any way possible. If I had to go cut grass, do whatever I had to do to go get my bread, like, I was in a grown nigga mindset at a young age. And that's not good. That's not saying that's a good thing. In a lot of ways it is, son, but no child should have to grow up that fast. Like, I was forced to kind of grow up, and then where I'm from, you kind of, everybody forced to grow up, honestly. Because you see shit and hear shit and be around shit that no child should have to be around. Like, at a young age. Niggas done seen bodies. Niggas done seen people get shot. Like, a lot of people done seen a lot of fucked up shit at a young age, son. Like, and there ain't no shit a child should have to see. That shit'll fuck you up mentally. Like, I remember one day, our house had got, that bitch, like, they had a drive-by right by our shit. And that bitch, they shot around the house, but they shot my mama back window. Her shit parked right in front of the house. They shot all her back window out. All this shit. I woke up on my sleep late at night. It was just glass everywhere. I ain't know what the fuck was going on, dude. I'm a child. I'm just thinking like, fuck, I just know niggas shooting. I ain't think nothing of it. My mom come running in the room, she jack a nigga out the bed, like real like jack me. I'm like, damn. Like it was just, that's an example of shit that children had to see early, son. Like one time I was at a murder scene for, I forgot what the nigga name is, some famous nigga in the city. Messi Maya, when dude got killed. I was at the boy murder scene when he got killed, and seeing a nigga body on the floor, son, and seeing that tape and a nigga get rolled out on the stretcher, that shit hit different as a child. Like a nigga sold out his body at that. Like you a child, it ain't processing the same way as now. Like now you see certain shit, you just be like, fuck, it is what it is. That's just life. But back then as a child, you like, damn, nigga really like he gone, bitch. He not coming back. As a child, that fucked me up. Seeing a lot of shit, like seeing niggas get rolled out on stretchers, seeing niggas dead bodies, like with the sheet over them bitches, like certain shit just stick with you throughout life. Like, but I don't know, a lot of that shit force you to grow up fast. Like, it fuck with your emotions. You don't be able to speak about how you feel about a lot of shit. You just be feeling like, fuck it. I don't know, it be a confusing ass situation, son, but fuck, for my childhood, nigga had to kind of like move fast with it. There wasn't no time to waste. At all.
Okay. Personally, do you feel like your family supports you doing music, or do they just do it to like, you know, I want him to do it, but secretly hate him?
Yeah, I can say honestly, my family supportive of my music. Like, honestly, I could tell a lot of them supportive. But I ain't gonna lie, sometimes I feel like certain people, like not even in my family, like just in my family, like people in general, I be feeling like certain people be fucking with me for a reason. Like, I don't know, like it's a reason everybody fuck with this person or that person. But I feel like a lot of people wouldn't fuck with me if I ain't do music, son. Like, I get it, music is me, it's a part of me, it's what I do. But like, I don't feel like a lot of people really fuck with a nigga the same if I ain't do music. Like, music is how I express myself, say what I gotta say, and leave it at that. And I know I'm cool at music, son. Like, I know I'm cool. I'm just not one of them niggas to go out doing all that hype shit, being like, oh yeah, I'm better than this nigga, I'm better than that nigga. I'm just not one of them niggas. But I know I'm cool at what I do, and I know a lot of people, they see that shit too. So nigga be feeling like sometimes they just be doing that shit for a reason, son. Cause it'll be motherfuckers I ain't talked to in years. Right after I post a song or a music video, come DM a nigga or text a nigga, oh, what's up, bitch? Oh, I see you been getting on your shit, or I ain't talked to you. Motherfuckers that done try to down a nigga in the past and everything. All type of shit, but I done seen all them people come back around when they look like a nigga was getting somewhere. Like, sometimes when a nigga used to post their videos, you know how music videos look professional as fuck. We had the bread and shit in the videos. It looked like a nigga done blew up the whole time. Bitch, I'm just making content. Niggas think you blew up, dude. Everybody come hit your line all of a sudden. And there was a time I was tapping with T-Key. Nigga thought I signed a deal. Everybody was on my dick. It was just like weird points at life where I noticed people start fucking with me different, son. Because a lot of people ain't fuck with a nigga, honestly, at all. But when they saw a nigga get a little bit of noticement, a fan, nigga won't fuck with me. Like, I knew, son. In the next couple of months to a year, when I had this shit on lock, I know a lot of people gonna come back around. And I done seen half of the motherfuckers already come back around. But I already knew. I know how that shit gonna play out. That shit, it just be weird, though. Like, I don't know. I feel like some motherfuckers just support just so they can say they support it, just in case you made. But fuck, that is what it is. I knew real. I knew who was really there and who really wasn't. I ain't stupid. So fuck.
So how the girls be treating you? Because I know every girl, they don't want no rapper, but you know, they like the lifestyle. They like, so how they treat you?
Females, I think, like females, I ain't gonna lie, son. A lot of females be on the kick. Like when I talk to females, they be on a kick though, where they be trying to just jump in shit. Like, I be like, son, like real talk, they really be trying to jump in shit. Like, I be understanding, cause I used to be like that with certain shit. But like as I got older, I understood this shit. You can't jump in no shit. You can't go to a football game without no practice. You can't do that, but you gotta have some type of plays right now. You can't just jump in some shit. You gotta plan that out before time. Have that time and understanding before you jump in there. Mm-hmm. Like, motherfuckers just hop off, like niggas just hop off the porch and run on the field. You can't do that. Without you knowing your plays or knowing how you about to go about this situation, you can't just do that. So you gotta know how you want to go into this situation, how it could play out, and what could possibly happen in this situation. You gotta know all that shit. Cause like a lot of females I talk to, probably, son, I ain't gonna lie, this probably sound like some cocky ass shit, but I swear to God it's not, son. I ain't gonna lie, like mentally I feel like if I wanted to, son, I could put a lot of females just mentally. Cause a lot of niggas, like, they be on the same shit. Like, you walk up to a female, you probably get her number, blah, blah, blah. I ain't gonna lie. You know most niggas just be trying to fuck. Most niggas just be trying to fuck. And females be knowing that already. But, like, I don't know. The way I talk to females is different. Like, mentally, I could talk to a female without ever meeting her, son. And she probably won't fuck me the day after. But it's just the way I talk, I don't know how to explain that shit. That shit weird. But they be fucking with it. And when they fuck with my music, like my music a part of me, son. I told you, that's how I say everything. So like it's like that shit be weird sometimes with the females, cause fuck they be throwing me up. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, I just go start talking to a motherfucker the same hour. Oh, you about to be my nigga. I'm like, damn. I'm like, fuck, you telling me news, I ain't even know that shit. I'm like, hold up, son. Yeah. But I don't know. And then some of them, it's different types of them. And others, when you tell them you're a rapper, oh, you ain't no rapper. This nigga a SoundCloud rapper. Bitch, you don't even know I'm on every platform. I'm not no SoundCloud rapper, but not even down to no SoundCloud rappers. Boy, SoundCloud rappers be doing this shit. But they look at you like you less than, cause they know so many niggas won't rap now, son. Like, I don't even know where half of these rap niggas came from. I ain't even lying. Like, these niggas coming out the blue, and then they blowing up quick. Like, that little nigga Blueface, like, when I found out that nigga blew up in like 3 months, after coming from football, I'm like, man, what type of shit? I'm like, son, that shit crazy. Like, that little bitch really was rapping for like 3 months after leaving football and blew up with that shit. Like, on some funny shit. But that's all it takes, son. You just gotta know how to do it. And niggas was down knocking him for that when that nigga first came out. But at the end of the day, that nigga made his bread. He did what he did. He stacked that shit. He took advantage of that moment. He made his bread off it. And now that nigga up. So, fuck, you can't take that from a nigga. Real shit.
You got any advice for any upcoming rappers that want to be in your position?
Shit, all I can tell you, son, don't let nobody fuck with your thoughts. Because you go on with this shit, a lot of motherfuckers gonna tell you can't do this, you can't do that. You don't sound like this, you don't sound like that, nigga. A lot of niggas gonna try to compare you to niggas. They gonna try to down you every chance they get. A lot of niggas just gonna watch you and not in the right. It's gonna be all type of weird shit with this shit. And a lot of people gonna fuck with you different. When you up, they gonna fuck with you hard. When you down, they gonna fuck with you less probably. And that's just depending on your circle. But a lot of weird shit gonna happen with this shit. I can tell you that. So just stay focused and worry about what you got going on. Don't let nobody else life confused with yours. Cause you could do that shit easy. Like, a lot of motherfuckers is weird, son. Bro, like, you can't let a nigga fuck with your thoughts. Your mind gotta be strong enough to fight that shit off. Real shit, dude.
Alright. So looking back after when you dropped this upcoming album, what do you want to see change in the next couple months?
My diversity and, like, my consistency as far as dropping music and video. Like, I'm trying to get to a point I could drop a music video and a song every 2 weeks for as long as I could do it consistently. Like, I'm trying to, after this album, because this album gonna be like my biggest project probably ever that I got out so far. It's gonna be the biggest project I got, so I really want to put everything I got into this one, so that way I could really, like, start moving with my shit. Like, after this album, ain't no going back to no old shit. It's all new shit from here. Like, I'm not doing all that other shit. Like, I'm done. All that shit I did in the past, I'm done with all that shit. Cause it was a good way to start off. Like, you always gotta start somewhere. But I'm on a different time, and it's time to level up, take my shit to the next level. Like, it's time. It's about that time, son. So after this album, I'm going in. I'm dropping video after video, song after song. However I gotta get it done, it's gonna happen. That's my goal for after I drop this album.
Got one more question for you. If a label was flying you out and offered you $1 million to sign, would you take that million?
Son, probably, like, depending on what type of situation it is, I really don't even fuck with signing. But $1 million, son, $1 million ain't really $1 million.
Yeah.
When you think about it. Because the more money you got, the more shit you got to pay for. That's number one. And I don't want it to be tied in with nobody, like, type shit. Like, with a label, it's certain shit you can and cannot do. Like, a lot of shit, like, they got restrictions on shit. They tell you when you can drop your shit and can't drop your shit. And it's not with every label, so don't get that confused. But they tell you when you can drop your shit, when you cannot drop your shit. They, like, kind of manage all your shit. Like, even though it's good to have somebody that you know you could count on to manage your shit and make sure your shit together, at the same time, you don't want a random nigga you just met out the blue just managing your shit, telling you when you dropping your shit, or just a random nigga above you just telling you when you gonna put your shit out or when you gonna do this. Because I ain't gonna lie, son, a lot of time nigga record music and won't drop this shit, it's because of a specific reason. Like, you probably gonna be feeling like this at the time and won't drop this, but your label like, no, that's not it. Like, it's mentally important to me with my music career to go further than money. Like, I'm gonna pay attention to my mental before I pay attention to the bread. Like, they'll put that million in your face just to get you attracted, son, just to pull you in. But at the end of the day, that shit wouldn't be what you think. And then it'll fuck with your head mentally, because Now they controlling what you do. You like a puppet to them at that point. Cause they get control over what you doing, son. Like even though every label not like that, 9 out of 10 of them bitches is, son. And a lot of them just won't make their bread off you. Of course everybody want their bread back. They putting money in you, nigga. But at the end of the day, that shit don't seem like that's what it's at. And that's what I believe in, and that's what fuck niggas gonna stick to. But $1 million, that shit not really $1 million. It's not. I'll pass on that shit.
You got anything else you want to shout out before we wrap this up?
Shit, man, I want to shout out my brother. That bitch named Universe on fucking Spotify, all that shit. You'll go search him up. I'm gonna put that bitch name on the screen or some shit, cause that bitch got too many I's and too many V's. That bitch got too many letters all together. Shout out to that little bitch, Move 5. Keep doing your shit, little bitch. We gonna be going up with them beats and shit too. Every song that I'm gonna be dropping gonna be his beats. So we definitely gonna be going up. And fuck, we about to get lit, bitch. The album about to drop. Got a performance next week. Damn, I'm trying to think. I'm missing something. Fuck, I don't know. But fuck, you know we turned up all year. We about to keep turning up. The performance gonna be lit. So you don't want to miss that, bitch. I guarantee you. So you gonna put up. We turned up all year. Young Gifted Individual. Fuck, that's really just about it. YGIRAY, bitch, tap in.